Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. In this session, we will be discussing from the 23rd verse of the 9th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhaktya Veshya Mano Yasmin Vacha Yan Nama Kirtayan Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Kama Karma Bhihi. The meaning of this verse is: the personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee by attentive devotion and meditation and by chanting of the holy name releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting the material body. So Bhishma is the authority, Mahajana. So he is explaining how when the Lord appears in the mind of the devotee by attentive devotion, meditation, chanting of the holy name. So that is explained here. Vacha yan nama kirtayan. So by chanting of the holy name, by attentive devotion and meditation, the Lord releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities exactly at the time of quitting the body. So, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, yoga means concentration of the mind detached from all other subject matter. Simultaneously, concentration of the mind on the lotus feet of Krishna, or on the holy name of Krishna, or on the form of Krishna, this transcendental form of Krishna, while simultaneously being completely detached from all other subject matter. So such concentration, Srila Prabhupada explains, is samadhi, the highest perfection of yoga, or 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. Even though a devotee may not be engaged in Ashtanga Yoga practice, in Bhakti Yoga also the same perfection of Ashtanga Yoga called Samadhi, or 100% absorption in the Supreme Lord, is possible by 100% engagement in devotional service of the Lord, either through chanting, or through hearing, or through worshipping, or through remembering the Lord's pastimes, the Lord's form, the Lord's name. So, Srila Prabhupada further explains, one who concentrates his attention in that manner is called a yogi. Yoga and yogi, these two terms had to be clearly understood in the context of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means 100% engagement in devotional service of the Lord. In so many different ways we can engage in the devotional service of the Lord. And one who is able to concentrate his attention 100% is called a yogi. Such a yogi devotee, means Bhakti Yogi, of the Lord engages himself 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord, so that his whole attention is engrossed with the thoughts of the Lord in ninefold devotional service. Devotional service is rendered in 9 different ways. This is explained in the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. So Srila Prabhupada has given the English names: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, praying, becoming a voluntary servant, carrying out orders, establishing a friendly relationship, or offering all that one may possess in the service of the Lord. Atmanivedam, the last one. By such practice of yoga or linking up in the service of the Lord, one is recognized by the Lord Himself, as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita concerning the highest perfectional stage of Samadhi. In the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Krishna explains this total absorption of the mind in devotional service is actually Samadhi. The Lord calls such a rare devotee the best amongst all the yogis. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Yukta, yuktatara, yuktatama. Positives, comparative and superlative. So, the best amongst all yogis, yukta tamo mataha, yoginam api sarvesham, among all yogis, the best amongst all yogis is a devotee who is totally absorbed in devotional service of the Supreme Lord 24 hours a day. Such a perfect yogi is enabled by the divine grace of the Lord to concentrate his mind upon the Lord with a perfect sense of consciousness. What is the meaning of sense of consciousness? Even though physically we may be doing so many activities, even though mentally we may be engaging in different kinds of thoughts, but in the background, the consciousness, which is the energy of the soul, is very important consideration. What is the background consciousness? Generally, those who are non-devotees, their background consciousness is that of sense enjoyment or self-gratification, the sense of independent existence without any connection with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a sense of consciousness, independent existence, is actually the reason for the material bondage. And the opposite of this is the sense of belonging to Krishna eternally, absolute dependence on Krishna. And this sense of consciousness is called the perfect sense of consciousness, where one is able to concentrate the attention completely on Krishna by the divine grace of Krishna. Such concentration is not possible without the mercy of the Lord. And the Lord is very, very merciful and kind to His pure devotee, unflinching servitor. Thus, by chanting His holy name before quitting the body, the yogi is at once transferred by the internal energy of the Lord to one of the eternal planets where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. See what happens at the time of death. The devotee quits the body chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord because he has practiced chanting constantly, always. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Kirtaniya sada harihi. So, the constant chanting of the holy name enables the devotee to quit the body while chanting the holy name. And by such an act, the devotee is at once transferred by the internal energy of the Lord. This has been explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha. This daivim prakriti is referring to the internal energy of the Lord, the personal energy, which is specially meant for his devotees. For the Lord and his devotees, this personal energy, which is the Yogamaya, Antaranga Shakti, spiritual energy. As opposed to this, there is the material energy or Mahamaya or Trigunatmaka Maya, Gunamayi Maya, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. So this Gunamayi Maya offers an obstacle for those who want to get out of this material existence. It offers an obstacle, Duratyaya. And the Yoga Maya or the Atma Maya, personal energy of the Lord, simply transfers the devotee immediately, at once, to the eternal planets. And what is the nature of eternal planets? Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana. Sanatana. Those planets are sanatana. Where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. Material life is characterized by repetition of birth and death. And between birth and death, there is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Again and again, repeatedly, we have to face these concomitant factors of disease, old age, death, rebirth, disease, old age, death and rebirth. We have to keep on facing this concomitant factors. In the eternal planets, there is no death, there is no old age. This knowledge is not known to many people, that there is another world, parastasmatu bhavonyo, anya bhava, that is transcendental, paraha. Param bhavam or Param Brahma, Param Dhama. So this Param Dhama, so that transcendental world that is unknown to people. They read Bhagavad Gita, but because they are not guided by the proper authority, therefore they do not know that Krishna doesn't belong to this world. They do not know Krishna is a transcendental supreme personality. He has his personal abode. He is inviting us, please come back to my personal abode. Don't remain in this material world which is subject to creation and destruction repeatedly. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. Everything is explained in the Bhagavad Gita very clearly. But if you are not guided by a pure devotee, spiritual master, you will never understand all these things merely by your reading the Gita or following some translation which is done by a speculator, non-devotee. You will never understand all these facts. So here it is explained that simply by practicing devotional service and preparing oneself to be able to chant the holy name at the time of death, one can simply transfer oneself to the eternal planets where there is no repetition of birth and death. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.